Vashi, we're live.
Alright. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the Toku Portal podcast. We apologize for the delay. We were having slight issues on our back end. I am Vashi V, and here with me today is.
Right?
And dedicate.
I'm doing the KyuuRanger notes this week. Uh, we open up with Garo being really worked up over Champ's death last episode. And he's also getting really impatient about the Russian-Bon Kyutama recharging so they can find the last of the 3 special Kyutama that they're looking for. Balance suggests not being impatient, and Garo calls him lazy and gets ready to attack him, but the others hold him back. Sholampo comes in and tells them about a dark matter dome covering a city, made of a light-blocking substance. He's waiting for the Hikari Kyutama to arrive to kind of help out with that, but he wants a team to go and investigate while they wait. The Kyolet chance is Lucky, Garo, Balance, Hame, and Raptor. Anything so far?
Not for me.
I did like the interaction between Balance and Garu. We haven't seen a lot of their interaction part outside of 1 or 2 episodes where they were like stuck together on the ship. So it was nice to see that interaction of basically Garo getting fed up with Balance's easygoing personality, especially given the situation. So that was nice and a slight change of pace.
Yeah, it's good to actually see them interacting with each other and showing that they have different personalities. To get into the dome, Hame uses her Voyager to dig an underground tunnel. The dome is pitch black when they get in, but it soon becomes midday. There's some kind of black disk in the sky that the artificial sun was behind. A bus nearly runs them over, and when the workers get off, they are dead tired. Days inside the dome are 22 hours long, with the only nighttime being when the artificial sun is behind the black disk. And the commander of this sector is forcing everyone to work during the daytime. Lucky insults the commander, and then the commander starts attacking them from out of nowhere. Like, you don't see him at all. They try to fight, but he sends them all flying. Literally. Like Team Rocket style.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, those workers should scare any kids who want to disobey their parents and not go to sleep, because they look like zombies. They did a pretty good job with the makeup on them.
Yeah, the makeup on him was fantastic because that looked just straight evil. Um, I did like the uniqueness for the monster that they literally can't see him. And then the only issue I had with this scene is like there are slight points in it where like their reactions to the bad guy hitting them was like delayed. So there are points. It is primarily with Lucky where it looks just kind of funny because like you see the flash go off and then him react a second, or him react and then the flash goes off after the fact. So it just slight slip ups there. It's like, but yeah, them getting launched Team Rocket style was amazing.
It was highly unexpected on my part, but I still enjoyed it. Lucky lands on some blankets someone hung up to dry, and then Hami and Raptor land on him. Garo and Balance land in some trash somewhere else, where Balance can just turn off his sense of smell, but Garo has the nose of a wolf. Hame and Raptor fix the blankets Lucky fell on, while Lucky just starts insulting the commander again, who again sends him flying. Garo continues to get impatient about what to do, while Balance tries telling him that acting pointlessly will just tire them out, and there's not much they can do while they're being watched by the commander. Garo storms off on his own, and Balance notices a security camera nearby.
Balance's suit actor is so good. he's just the way he's just casually sitting in the garbage playing with the sandal. It's so fun to watch. And then, but secretly he's actually, got some sort of plan going. Balance is such a great character.
I've always liked seeing Balance act, which just because of the way his character is, the suit with conveying the carefree attitude and whatnot that he seems to have and whatnot. It's like, and the interaction with Garo was kind of funny. It's like, haha, I can turn mine off. You have to smell all this garbage. Though I was kind of half expecting to see Jelashito again. And the Lucky and Raptor and all that is like, I'm just enjoying this episode because I'm enjoying watching Lucky get his ass handed to him by seemingly nothing. Granted, yeah, we know it's Monster of the Week, but we don't see anything hitting him. It's just he mouths off and somebody hits him. I like that.
It's the best. It's what we wanted like 9 episodes ago. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one thing I like about Balance's suit actor and his suit in general is that it's very fluid. It just moves. While Champ, another like mechanical or robot or whatever, is very stiff. It's a subtle detail that I appreciate in this series. Also, of course, you weren't going to see Jello Shito in here. This isn't the organic trash pile.
Yeah, fair point.
On the Orion Go, they've lost contact with the away team. The Ikari Kyuutama arrives, but they can transport it to them. The Hikari Kyuutama arrives, but they can't transport it to them if they can't even contact them. So Sholampo decides he'll just hand deliver it in his Voyager. You know, the one that's a huge dragon. He plans on going through the hole that Hame made earlier. That's his plan. Kotaro calls them up to make sure they got the Kyuutama and says that Champ isn't in any better condition, and Stinger is blaming himself for it. Decade?
I don't have anything right now.
I liked the idea that show had, as I'm going to start calling him now again, not Doggy Kruger. But initially the idea that I had was just gonna go through the hole, not use of his Q Voyager or anything like that.
I thought he was just going to use the cockpit, because that is a separate part of the Voyager.
Right. It was just one of those things I was like, okay, that's a good idea. You've already got a hole, just climb through it. But, this series, things don't go the way that... Well, things go the way you expect them to, just not the way you think they would. You keep giving certain characters too much credit in this series. Yeah, there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was.
Was it about Stinger and Champ?
Oh, the Kotaro scene. While I am a little disappointed that Kotaro was in this episode, I am quite content with how they put him in this episode. He wasn't an overbearing character like he's always been every time he's ever been on screen.
Maybe seeing Champ show up fucking torn apart will help give him a huge attitude adjustment.
And that's kind of what I'm hoping, is because his character's been unbearable to me for this series. So seeing that at least in a very small scene, it's kind of been subdued a little bit, it gives me great hope for whenever they bring him back. And then that just having that small scene with Champ and Stinger, adding in the fact that there's a possibility that he cannot be repaired. And then the way Stinger's taking it personal, it's very well done. And especially with Stinger's, like, the level of emotion that Stinger's showing.
Yeah, I hope they do a good job repairing Stinger emotionally because he's pretty messed up right now.
Oh, I'm sure this arc will end with Stinger being the one to kill Scorpio. Let's see here. So Lucky lands near a river where he starts to insult the commander again, thinks better of it for a second, then whispers the insult anyways, and the commander again sends him flying. Garo is planning a raid on an enemy stronghold by himself, but Balance stops him to point out that he'd be outnumbered. Lucky then lands near them, and Hame and Raptor show up because they were following Lucky flying through the sky. Balance shows everyone the tape from the security camera, revealing that the commander had been attacking them from the ground, like as if he was coming from the ground. This gives Garo an idea. Also, show Lampo got his Voyager stuck in the hole. Nothing?
Nope, sorry.
Alright. In a park, Lucky, Garo, Hame, and Raptor transform and do their roll call with a fisheye lens. They begin all insulting the commander to draw him out while Balance observes his behavior from a distance. Hame tries going invisible and Raptor begins flying, but neither make a difference. Balance realizes the commander is attacking from their shadows. I don't think that should work for Hame turning invisible because she's bending light. To turn invisible, you're bending light around you, but whatever. Everyone else begins drawing the commander's attention so that Lucky can get out to get the Kari Kyuutama, and he finds Sholampo's Voyager still stuck in the hole, but hey, he gets the Kyuutama. Honestly, I think this scene was really well done because it utilized some of the things that make Hame and Raptor unique, which is turning invisible and flying.
Yeah, and it still wasn't enough. Pretty tough enemy.
I mean, the overall reveal for the Monster of the Week with how he attacks and all that, one that didn't make sense. Because if you're bending light around you, you still should not produce a shadow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know, I was like, other than that, everything about this entire scene was fantastic. It was a nice use of a diversion for Balance to figure out exactly what was how he was able to attack and all that. You know, it was nice to see them being tactical rather than just, you know, balls to the wall. Hell, we'll just attack and figure it out as we go.
It's almost like they were working as a team, like some kind of Sentai.
Yeah, you know, like one that has a Doggy Kruger in it.
Like,
I mean, given the previews, like there's some very small similarity every now and again. Point out how good of a series this can be based off previous seasons that have this level of teamwork. And SPD was one, or KyuuRanger, for those of you who are paying attention to Sentai, was a great series in terms of teamwork and team building, especially as the series, you know, from the start of the series and the way the series progressed. I really hope they continue that trend with KyuuRanger, because outside of Champ and Stinger, there's not really been, and obviously Balance and Naga, considering they were a team to start with, there really hasn't been much in the realm of teamwork building rather than just Lucky taking the wheel and just hoping shit works out right. So it was nice to see that in Ryu Commander's just a fucking idiot. I could give him so much credit up until this scene that he did know what he was doing. But no, He does not have a damn clue what he's doing. He's making this shit up as he goes.
Yeah.
And he's just been very lucky with the crap that he's been able to pull out of his ass. Which kind of, I guess, would explain why Naga's been so easy to be able to call him on his bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, that's one good thing about losing a couple Rangers is that they're kind of the remaining ones are kind of forced to work with each other more than they would be if they had a couple more people in the mix. So yeah, Garo and Balance have been pretty good in this episode and in that strange Dragon Palace one.
Another series that was really good about teamwork, I would say, was KyuuRanger. They were really good at that. They were all siblings, which helped because they all knew each other.
Right. It's like then that was what I was going to point out. They were family. You know, it wouldn't for them to have any more problems than they did in that series in terms of teamwork would have been asinine. So it's like I understand like building up teamwork throughout a series with a situation like KyuuRanger where everybody's from a different planet. Cool, I get that. It's like, but you kind of have to start focusing on building teamwork, or this is not going to feel like a Sentai. It's going to feel like a jumbled mess, which the majority of the series has felt like.
Another one was Goseiger, which they were really good at working off of each other, and that whole thing you were complaining about earlier about like just figuring it out as you go, they were actually good at that, but they did it as a team. They would just build off of each other's attacks and work together, and they started out not even liking each other.
Right, and they did that really well. It's like, and that's kind of why I had hopes for KyuuRangers, because that's how it kind of started off. Nobody really knows each other, and so teamwork shouldn't come natural in terms of being able to plan out and stuff like that. It's like, but you should be able to work off of each other. You're in a group fighting. It's really not that difficult when you put logic to it.
Okay, so Lucky now has the Hikari Kyutama. When he activates it, it adds a sun to his helmet that can like shine off brightly. Raptor flies him up high to cast light directly down, eliminating any shadows for the commander to hide in. This also makes Balance stronger, and he lands enough hits on him to send him flying through concrete. And then Balance throws Lucky into the Moraimazu to destroy it, killing the artificial sun and making it dark inside the dome. When Lucky lands, the Hikari Kyutama flips over and the sun on his helmet becomes a moon. This time, Garo gets a power boost and starts unloading his attacks on the commander. Then Lucky steals the kill using the Hikari Kyutama's finisher, which is my biggest complaint here. We get a really good moment for Balance, we get a really good moment for Garo, and it's kind of ruined by Lucky stealing the kill by himself. Like, you couldn't get the other two in for it, really.
That being said, the personality changes were pretty funny.
I like the personality changes. I do have one question. Why did Balances change in daylight? I understand Garo. His is the lupus, and lupus, the wolf, it's tied to the moon. But why does Balance, a set of scales, get more badass during the day?
Balance is a treasure hunter. He likes shiny things, and the bright light made his whole body more shiny because he's gold painted.
You know, I didn't think about that. That actually makes a whole lot of sense.
It's a really dumb reason, but it's perfect for balance.
It is an extremely dumb reason. But then again, I kind of forgot what series I was watching. But that fucking the moment with Garu, I think, was just the best. Best scene in this entire series is like, yeah, I liked Balance's personality shift, but Garu seemed more accurate in terms of what you would expect, because he's been kind of more one of the more active people in the series. Having his personality change to that more cocky, arrogant kind of personality that he had was just amazing, especially with that little "a toast to the moon" line. That was perfect.
The only thing he was missing was a rose.
And a top hat.
The commander grows giant just as Sholampo finally breaks free from this hole he got himself stuck in. So Balance and Garo combine their Voyagers with his for the mech battle. Unfortunately, they just fire a stupid laser beam instead of actually fighting him. Whatever. Back on the Orion Go, Balance and Garo are getting along. Spada announces that the Rashinban Kyutama has recharged and they can use it again. Elsewhere, Scorpio knows what Kyutama the KyuuRangers are looking for and sends Madako to retrieve it for him. Episode end. Decade? Okay, Vashi.
Honestly, it was nice to see the fact that Shalompo's voice can merge other people's.
You really cut off there.
Stupid internet. It was nice to see the fact that Show's Voyager can merge with the others rather than just Kotaro's and Stingers. Because I had a feeling initially that's all they were gonna do.
I assumed he could combine with any two of them at a... my only problem is that he could only combine with two of them.
Right. Like, I had a feeling it was gonna... But I was worried that they were just gonna focus on attaching Stingers and Kotaros. Because everybody else kind of merges with the main one. As a way to kind of toss this into a... I lost that train of thought.
You're talking about Kotaro?
Yeah, I lost the train of thought completely. I apologize. I did kind of get a little irritated at the way Spada pointed out that it was the Kyutama was charged and ready. I get it. He's a chef. That's cool. That's fine. We didn't need to play up the way he did with the serving tray and the meat, popping the lid off like it was a meal and just go, ta-da, it's ready. He just couldn't just walk up, go, here, it's ready.
At least he handed them real food first and didn't get their hopes up.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Granted, I think I would have much more rather enjoyed to see that. And then we got another miscued facial expression from Naga.
At least he was smiling.
Yeah, a very, very creepy serial killer smile, but yes, it was a smile.
Points for trying.
Like, I saw that smile, I'm like, oh great, please tell me he does not have a knife in his hand. And if he does, please stab Lucky with it. I'm very much hoping with this episode, or not so much with this episode, but with the way that this particular power-up goes, I really hope Lucky's not the only one that uses it.
Too late, they already painted it red.
Well, they also painted it yellow. Gold.
Well, even if he is the only one who uses it, I'd like to see other Rangers get different personality changes. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be nice.
This one's... Go on.
I want to see that, and I want to see other power-ups for other people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Outside of the minor little Kyutamas.
This one seems specific for Balance and Garo, but I hope we get ones for the others.
Right, let's give Amy some damn personality again. Because I feel they kind of knocked her down a peg a little bit with this episode.
Let's get like a land sky one for Hame and Raptor.
And what would it be? Water, and then whatever that would account for a snake. I want to see a
Desert?
personality change in. Yeah, desert. I want
Sea
that.
and
That'll work.
desert.
Sea and desert. I want to see a personality shift in Naga. I think that would be amazing. To have him go from this, person who doesn't understand emotions to being able to use them flawlessly for a little bit of time, I think would just be amazing. And then have when he switches back, have no recollection of how to use the emotions again. Because I think it would be funny.
Overall, the writing in this episode was really good. Uh, it didn't just focus on like one character to be like the focus character, with Lucky there as well. Balance and Garo were the focus characters, and then Lucky kind of had some moments here and there, and then Sholampo had his own little arc. And like in past episodes, they've had like extra people there just to fill out the team so that they can say there was 5 or 6 down there, and then those other people don't even do anything. Here, Raptor and Hame actually did stuff. They interacted and they were useful. They used their unique things of turning invisible and flying. This episode was really well written, and I hope that we get more episodes like this in the future. Decade, no final thoughts?
Yeah, good episode. What else? Yeah, we need more Hami. Give me more Hami.
Like, all in all, the writing, I did like this. Consider this because it really didn't cover much aside from
You're cutting out again.
this. Is that better?
Maybe try over.
I like the writing in this episode. I consider this episode a filler episode because it really didn't balance. It didn't really affect too much of the overall story and arc where this is headed, outside of very very little bit of character development. But it was very well done, given the state of the filler episodes that they've had in the series so far. This is by far the best filler episode that they've had.
And I just want to throw one thing out there, because lately I've seen a lot of people use the word filler to just describe an episode they didn't like. Filler does not mean bad. Filler episode just means it didn't progress the overall plot. A filler episode can still be good, and this is proof of that.
Like there were a few moments in the episode that they had a few moments where they progressed the story a little bit with the scene with about Stinger and Champ, and then at the very end with Scorpio. But other than that, this episode was very very minor to the story overall, to the arc. It doesn't progress anything else, like I said, outside of very small a little bit of character development. This is more of an episode of we need to buy time and pad out the series a little bit, because maybe they're rushing, they're getting a little too far into where they wanted to be at this point in the year, however it happened to work out. Anime does this stuff all the time. Granted, they do it with arcs because of the way anime works, with coming from a book version to an ongoing book version to a video format, where this is just literally flat out made for TV. So the filler episodes for like these type of series are usually more geared closer towards the holidays and whatnot. So having a filler episode at this point in the series, it didn't feel like they were just chucking it in just for the sake of padding time. It actually felt like it was a good episode overall. I realized I rambled on that point.
Are you done?
Yes, I am.
Alright, well, thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.